There we go. Sorry, I got a new setup coming to you live from this camera angle. So I'm super sore after the last couple days of at the gym. So I'm sitting and I can actually face y'all when I'm talking to you because I now have the chat on the actual screen that I'm looking at, so I don't have to look over there and I don't have to look up and hurt my neck. And like I was noticing that I was like getting, hey Eek, hi babe. Yeah, so I'm like, I was noticing I was like getting a thing in my neck every time I streamed, and I was just like, am I that old? I just can't like, you know, look at things too much, too far to the side? I guess so. So hi, yeah, so it's a little more personable, I hope. And you know, you could see the fucking chaos of the room. This table was clean the other day, I swear to God. But so yeah, hi everybody. How's the music? Is the music okay? I can turn it down if need be. Oops, not mute it. Jeez. Nope, there we go. Okay. So, better angle for cats, true. You'll probably see them walking around in the background over here in the kitchen. Yeah. Yeah, synthwave. So, hopefully the mic is okay and that's alright. Yeah. So, let me know if anything needs changing that you think will help. Because this is a test run, I guess. So, I hope everybody's week is going okay. Sorry about last stream. I was in a state, and I don't 1000% know why. So yeah, I've just been in like a weird emotional place recently, and you know, sometimes it just happens. Sometimes you can't help it, and yes, fist bump to Eek, indeed. And yeah, it was just one of those things where it's like I am super stressed out and sad and mad and like all of these things all at once for no reason, really. There was just a lot of things on my mind all at once, and it all just kind of came to a head. And that was why the stream was only 45 minutes. So sorry about that. It happens, you know. I'm not gonna make excuses or say that it won't happen again, because it probably will. So, you know, whatever. But we're going to use that energy today. So I'm excited about that. With that kind of energy still going in my brain. Oh, by the way, any of my friends or chatters that are practicing pagans or witches, happy Beltane. Happy May Day, happy whatever you want to call it. Yeah, the weekend was all over, yeah. So yeah. Today's the day we celebrate new growth and life and new things, so, you know, I guess we're celebrating that with a new camera angle and then a new streaming thing. A new streaming subject, world building subject, I suppose. I'm gonna try really hard not to look at myself because I'm a monkey and I just like can see me and it's way over there, so I'm like just not looking at you guys like a loser. But I have to have it on always on top, so I can't cover it up with the setup that I now have. I think I have OBS in a kind of okay way. So yeah. Monkey. So yeah, in interest of that and in my weird emotional state, we're going to pivot a little bit in our world building, because if you didn't see my, you know, post or anything, that's totally fine. But I knew at some point this was going to happen. I knew at some point my brain my brain was gonna be like, hey, you don't want cozy comfort cottagecore right now. Just there are sometimes it just like it won't give me that comfort. Instead it feels like, I don't know, homework, if you know, whatever. So I planned this world and this universe really to take care of every aspect of my brain. That's why I have so many little offshoots, so I can do what I want to do creatively and what theme I want to kind of be inspired by in the same world. I want to stay in this world, but we're not in Galdor anymore, Toto. So instead, here we go, we're gonna go to Hell, and we're gonna build Hell. Because I'm feeling pessimistic, because I'm not feeling, you know, happy-go-lucky, the world's a bright shining rainbow, we're gonna go to Hell, and we're gonna build out Hell. As you can see, I've already started. So I'm thinking we're gonna continue the whole mirror idea, as far as the above so below. So here in Hell, there's also going to be like a circular makeup to it, like a you know, a spoked wheel, and basically each spoke, or each in between space, whatever, is going to be a city or an area of the circle. Some bigger than others, some entirely different. This is coming from, aside from my emotional state, this is kind of coming from, there's a book series that I read a long time ago that it was like, it sold itself as a horror book series, but it really wasn't. It was, oh, and I should say at the top here for anybody that, there's gonna be some trigger warnings here, because, and I'm going to just list them out on here, so if there's like stuff that you're easily offended by, or not easily, but anything you're offended by or can't take right now, if you're in a mental state where you can't take darker subject matter right now, I completely understand, and you can leave, and I'm not gonna judge you, I'm not gonna have a problem with that, but I'm gonna deal with a lot of darker stuff, sadder stuff, but underneath all that darkness, I also want to find the hope, which, that is inspired by this book series. I forget what it, I have the book somewhere, I'd have to dig them out, but basically, it was a book series that took place in Hell, but the author built Hell as this huge, like, megapolis city of all these different districts, and some of them were horrifying. Like, I remember very specifically, again, trigger warning if you don't like gross stuff, or body horror, or any of that stuff, don't tune in right now, because I'm gonna be talking about some dark shit. There was one entire district, I'm not even kidding, this is real. I read 3 of these books, I think. There was one entire district in Hell made of shit. Like, quite literally. And I think he found his friend there somehow, who was being punished by spending eternity buried in shit. Like, that was their punishment. So that was interesting. But the book itself never really sold the horror aspect to me. It was more of like, hey, isn't this weird? And like, maybe some people got possessed at some point, but it never like hit like the emotional beats of a good possession story. So it was also a lot of writing that the author did that kind of exercised his own kinks, which was like, yeah, all right, whatever. And it wasn't ever like inappropriate or anything, but it was definitely like he had a thing for a certain type of person, or several different types of people, and that's okay, you know, write what you want. And I didn't not enjoy the book series, but it was definitely not a horror book series, as he would say, as he would advertise it. So that's partially where some of my inspiration is coming from here. Also the 9 Hells, themselves, they all have like cities and stuff. There's like a city of Dees, and a couple other ones, within the actual meta. And let me just read out what I've written so far, so you guys can see like where I'm at mentally, I guess. Here, hang on. Oops. Just making slight adjustments to my setup here. I might have to do that every now and again. So, we're gonna start with a single city called, as you can see, called the City of Descent, or they just call it Descent, or Descent City, whichever you want. And I want you to remember that hell in this world is not a punishment, it is a choice. It is something that When you will, it's where the pessimists go in Galdor, if you will. It's for people that just refuse to follow or worship anything aside from their own selves, which is absolutely valid, and I can totally understand when people do that. But here we go. And I took a little, and I'll get to my other inspirations as we go. Anyway, so here's what I wrote this morning as I was trying to feel out where I was. Hang on. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I'm drinking coffee. Good. Professional. Descent is a megaopolis, one of many within the Hells, but it is the city to go to when you need things done or you need to disappear. The Hells are largely ruled by those that have collected enough power, which means old-timers have an unfair advantage. Your choice of the Hells over bending a knee to some god is honorable, but it comes with downsides too. When you arrive in Hell, you're on the bottom rung. You may have forever to figure out what to do about that. The problem there is that the odds are stacked against you by a lot. Megacorps are run by editing as I go. By demonic bastards that have more money than the gods and more sense than most. That makes them dangerous to anyone that would move against them. If you plan to carve out a slice of the pie big enough for you to be comfortable in your eternity, then you're going to have to work with others. No matter what the corpo fucks say, no one does it alone. The question is, are you going to do it by working with people, or are you going to step on their backs and leave them behind as you climb the ladder to the top? The corpse see people as numbers. The souls that came here to get away from the ever-present gods above found something not much better standing above them. In high-rises made of bone and rock, the radiant sun replaced by an ever-stormy sky and the incessant glow of neon powered by the very souls of the city, lives are traded back and forth for whatever they're worth, some worth nothing. Rampant capitalism, unheard of outside of Hell, runs every single action and interaction of the denizens. Time is money, talk is cheap, and if you step out of line, well, you don't want to see what happens if you get caught breaking the rules in Hell. Newly awakened souls are thrust into this world in the edges of the cities. These communities there... The communities there, I can type. The communities there are kinder, more diverse, and survive as a team, but the living conditions are bleak. The only reason people survive is because the soul is more stout than the body, made up of thousands of people banding together to survive on what they can scavenge, whether it be material, favors, connections, or bodies. Tough as nails, but loving if trust is earned. So that's what I've got there. That's for the city itself. Now, eventually, when I inevitably run a campaign in here, I have an intro kind of idea that can be, messed with as I go. Excuse me. And this is the eventual idea for the campaign that I get into. This is not planned in any way in the near future. This is just something that I have now available to me if I get to that point. 1,000 years. That's the customary time you get in Hell. The contract set out before most that wish to leave the gods in that shiny lie of a world behind. You always knew that these bright places were bullshit. The gods, grim, bright, doesn't matter. They were simply veneer. They buffed themselves so they shone, so you were blinded by the truth. To the truth, not by the truth. To the truth. Excuse me, there we go. To the truth. But something or someone handed you a pair of shades, and you couldn't take them back off. You lived your life, but you were always separate, other. You weren't mistreated, but you weren't wholly accepted either. Sometimes you found other damaged people like yourself, or you just survived on your own, the only person you could trust. At some point in your life, you met someone that understood, someone that talked to you, but more importantly, listened to you. They got it, all of it, and then they offered an out. The gods got first dibs of souls. That's widely known. Even if you weren't devoted, however you lived your life decided where you went after, and you got little say in the matter, unless you pivoted to some other stepdad in the sky. But this person, they said there was another option, a way to opt out all of this and take charge of your charge. there we go, excuse me, charge of your own eternity. The hells get a bad rap. You've been told about them. Lawless places of confused souls that would rather make no decision than a wrong one. But no, the hells were the only place where people made that choice and decided that whatever crazy setup hell has, it was worth not bending the knee to a god you don't know. You prefer the devil that you did. And that's what this person was. A devil. Whether you sussed it out immediately or only after you woke up in your little soul tank, you know them. But the contract that they gave you was straightforward. You may have negotiated for other things, but there was a limit to what they could do for you outside of what's already there. But they did their best, or seemed to, anyway, and you got what you thought was a pretty good deal in the end. The only prerequisites were that you lived out your life here, no clocking out early to speed it up, and that you had a job set up for when you arrived. And then I've got a list of jobs. So far, there's probably others that I can think of. Delivery person, running goods from one place to another, anything from pizza to mail to drugs. Bounty hunter, people need finding, criminals mostly, but missing persons too. Driver, getaway or just a lift, you're needed to keep the city moving. Cleaner, trash or blood, either way, grab a mop. Muscle, standing there and looking menacing can be just as effective as beating someone to a pulp. Luckily, you can do both. Server, could be food, could be people, could be yourself. You serve others in some way. Chopper, with implants being the thing that keeps you strong in this world, someone's got to cut into bodies or at least help the people that do. Oddball, you just take whatever comes to you, a leaf on the wind. Support, tech or otherwise, you help people through problems. And rockers, you have something to say and it can only be said with music. That's my list of jobs so far, and yeah, that's where I'm at. So again, inspired by, you know, your cyberpunk, obviously, hell as it is written in a couple books that I've read. I like this a lot. Oh, I'm glad you like it. Cyberpunk Red and D&D, I guess a little bit, but like think of like Cyberpunk, pull it out a little bit and look at if Cyberpunk and Roompunk kind of had a baby, and it's like it still has that fantasy kind of shape to it, or color. Yeah, Shadowrun, exactly. And yeah, you still have all of the fantasy races, so you still make, you know, whatever character you want. And in interest of that, where'd my book go? There it is. I'm thinking that when I inevitably run this, again, not anytime soon, this is far off, I'm gonna run it in another system, which will be this one, Thirsty Sword Lesbians, which is the greatest name for an RPG I've ever come into contact with. The reason being, this is a narrative run. Basically you roll. Here, let me get back to my main thing. There we go. The dice system is simple. You roll 2d6, add any skills that you may or may not have, add it together. 10 plus is an awesome success, 7 to 9 is an okay mixed success, and 6 and below is you fucked up. And then it's a very whatchamacallit, customizable, there it is, customizable system as far as, you know, there's no set races, there's no set anything, you just have some simple stuff, and yeah, similar to Lo-Fi Bards, exactly, and it already has a cyberpunk chapter in it. They actually made, it's called Neon City 2099, but I made it into hell because, yeah. But yeah, this world, or this setting, this RPG, is very much all about the connections, again, like Lo-Fi Bards, it's very much about the connections that the players make to each other. And actually, in this game, flirting with each other is a mechanic. So that's gonna be a thing to consider if, once I take sign-ons, this will be a very specific kind of group. And I would also... Amazing, yes. You do have to flirt with each other, your fellow players, as well as NPCs, when you go into sword battles. you can like you can fight and you can be good at fighting, but you can be cut down if somebody like flirtatiously like gives you a you know, flirty insult or something, you know, whatever. So there's like taunting and stuff. So yeah, I think having this will like lower the problem, like the mechanical issues that I might have in D&D, while still keeping the aesthetic that I'm looking for. Again, because they already have a cyberpunk setting in here, I'm just kind of giving it I'm shifting the skin of the world a little bit. Stabs you, but like in a fun, sexy way. Yes, exactly that. And then like healing, you can help each other and like bandage each other's wounds and, you know, be like, who hurt you? You know, that whole, yeah, it's great. But yeah, there's heartstring moves is what they're called. Drag queen coded with the She-Ra base, 1000%. This is inspired largely by She-Ra and a bunch of other, you know, obviously gay things. Let's see, there's an entice move, and you gain strings on each other, which are like, you know, emotional beats that you can hit with the other person. Figure out a person. So like, this is a great game because it's also set up for people that if you're just a fucking person and you don't know how to flirt, like many RPG players don't, you can just leave it to the dice, and you can also ask the table. That is completely accepted. Everybody in this game is considered like superhumanly sexy and horny and stuff. So it's kind of part of the mechanic that when you're like, oh, I want to flirt with this person but I don't know what to say, you turn to your fellow players or even the GM and you go, what do I say, guys? And you all kind of have that moment in in Knight's Tale when they write the letter and it's the most romantic thing ever. You all get together and you decide how to flirt with this person. So it's adorable and I'm very excited to play it. That, again, like I said, long way off because there's a couple reasons for that. I'm already running 2 games, maybe a third in the future for just me and my husband, plus all the others that are currently on hold because of that. I'm still looking for a job. And as well as I want my husband to be involved in this game. So that would require scheduling and stuff, and just other things that need to be considered. So it's a long way off, so I'm gonna start building now, and that'll be fun. So we can figure out how we want this to kind of come together and be a cool thing. So yeah, I'm gonna be talking about hell today, and because I'm feeling hellish, and so I want that to be finally I can justify being a lesbian. Too right. We did, me and husband did try this game once, and it was cute. I don't know if we picked the right setting for it. 40K, you know, it was a good idea, but I don't know if I know enough about the worlds of 40K to make it gay for me. So it kind of petered out, but it was fun. But yeah, I think this kind of game is better for a larger group. I don't think it's necessarily very good for a one-on-one. We got close. Yeah, it was okay. But yeah, it didn't go the direction as quickly or easily as I wanted it to, and like I was running out of ideas and so on and so forth. So, which, you know, happens, especially with narrative games like this. I tend to kind of peter out quickly because I don't know what to do. However, this game does have a lot of inside it to help GMs figure out. We went with a Lady Primarch art as a base. Yeah, that's true. So yeah, I want to build hell as it is. Descent is going to be the largest of the cities, or at least the most city-like of the large cities, if you will. I'm also going to be partially inspired by The Matrix. You know, we're talking about cyberpunk, you can't not talk about The Matrix. And I'm imagining that when I start this campaign, players kind of wake up in a pod, much like The Matrix. where he just like is like some weird soul goo or something. So that'll be fun. I can make NPCs of like I have to make corpse. I've got, you know, most of the jobs that I can think of. If anybody has something outside of that, please let me know. But yeah, I can make up corpse. I can make up the people that run those corpse. Gangs are gonna be fun. Just imagine the coolest like fantasy hell gangs. So yeah, I'm just like in a little bit more of a modern, pessimistic mind place right now, and I mean, hell is the place to go for that. So, you know, hell is other people. So we're gonna... I've missed all of it. Tell me about hell. Oh god. I've already read my thing. Basically, we're starting with one city of hell, called Descent, as you can see. And basically, I wanted to have the option of running Cyberpunk in the same world, so hell is a cyberpunk megapolis, which is the power and the tech and everything is run by the souls of the people that chose to go to hell, basically. Because in a city of rebels, capitalism makes fucking sense. So people that refuse to bend the knee, your eternity being fighting against the higher powers. Like, think of, again, VTM, think of the Bruja. And I love this. I rewatched some clips of the LA by Night game by the official VTM channel on YouTube. If you haven't watched that, go fucking watch it. Brennan Lee Mulligan is amazing. He plays a hunter. And they do they do effects, they have props, and they're amazing actors, and like, you know, people make out with each other at the table. It's fucking awesome. It's such a fucking extra game. I love it so much. Anyway, but Brennan Lee Mulligan at one point comes in and he's a hunter, and his whole thing, they what through a broadcast? I don't know what that says. Nope. Try it again. We're not making classic D&D alignment separation between Hell and the Abyss. Correct. Hell and the Abyss are considered the same thing. We're not, and it's not a bad place to be. It's just a rebellious place to be for people that didn't like the gods. So, yeah, no, we're not doing that. Cycle through a broadcast. Yes. Right. So Brennan Lee Mulligan shows up at one point as a hunter, and he talks to one of the players, or one of the characters, who is a Bruja, which is the rebellious, like, anarchist, like, fuck the Camarilla clans. And I'm not going to be able to quote it directly, but at one point he's like, when I told you that we could end the fight here, you looked heartbroken, because you don't want to win, you want to fight forever as a vampire, basically. And it goes into more depth than that. Go fucking watch it, it's incredible. Brennan Lee Mulligan, Erika Ishii, just everybody in that fucking game is a fucking superstar. I love all of them. But and that's kind of the energy I'm going with Hell. If a city is built upon rebellion, winning is becoming the man. So capitalism becomes what it is out of rebellion. Look at America. America was born out of rebellion against the king. And now we're in deep capitalism. So hell is capitalism. Thank you, Brennan Lee Mulligan, for the inspiration. So yeah, that's the energy I'm going with. There's a lot of ideas I've got bumping around in my head. And we're getting a break, so I'll be right back and we'll talk more about Hell. Yay! I forgot where I put all my buttons. There we go. Okay, be right back. Alright, we're back. He would be so proud. Yeah, I certainly hope so. I thought America was like this because your country was started by religious weirdos. Also true. Being rich was a sign from God that you were morally upright and all that. That's certain. Well, that fed into the capitalism. Let's be honest. Honestly, the very much like many other things, the religious angle of things for those in power is a lie. Whether it's a bold-faced outright they are aware of it lie, or if they're buying their own bullshit, I don't know. But strictly God, in as far as the country itself goes, is a handy tool to be used to sell more capitalism and lobbying and everything. I'm not a political fucking scientist. Yes, both of those things are true. It's capitalism and rebellion and religion all in this disgusting shit pie that we're forced to live in. The continent is seeded by religious weirdos. The nation was born out of not wanting to pay taxes. That's also true. Yeah. I studied Joel Osteen for a villain once. It was fascinating. That's a great idea. I might consider that as well. Fun stuff. So, it's gonna be a little easier to world build for this place because it resembles more of our world. Let's be honest, it's hard to think about world building that is so different from your actual world. You have to think of every angle, so this is gonna be a little less stressful for me, I hope. And I'm sorry if anybody came here for the more cozy vibes. I'm trying to go with the, because I think that, cyberpunk in its way, is... Quick call Cork, not he'll find his way in, I'm sure. But, cyberpunk is cozy in a very individualized, small snapshot way. The wider world is, you know, awful, and, you know, it's, as they say, it's a high-tech, low life, which is what cyberpunk is. But it can be emotional, it can be cozy, and it can be meaningful because it's all these people fighting against these larger evils, which is more heroic than just, you know, dealing with the small problems that come up. And though I will have larger problems in Galdor itself, those have yet to present itself. And it's way easier to make a campaign out of a world that has a lot of problems that are obvious on the surface level. Let's be honest. It's easier to be a hero when everything is a problem. So basically that's where you're at. And like, whether or not it would be up to the, because like you have the idea of like Cyberpunk 2077 and all of those have that idea where live fast, die hard, and take as many motherfuckers out with you as possible. But hopefully you can get a taste of the good life before you do that. That's very much like a good... Oh, my cats. Okay. What'd you do? Hang on a second. I'll be right back. I'm nervous now. Are you okay? Stupid. What are you doing up there? Shithead. Everything's okay, shithead. Oh my god. Everything's fine. Oh my god. We're good, we're good, we're good. So Big Thumbs was up on top of the, fridge. I think he was trying to get at where I have the treats. And, yeah, so it's fine. Everything's fine. I just heard a big boom, and now I get nervous whenever I do, because I think a fucking window's broken or something. Okay, we're fine. Cats, everybody. I locked him up in the bedroom for now. He can deal. Right. So, where was I? Like Edge Runners, the connections made are very real and wholesome. Yeah. How the hell did he get up there? You know, your guess is as good as mine. Cat powers. He's not as graceful as his brother. Asher hangs out on top of the fridge all the time, and he's completely fine. He loafs up there and just, like, stares down at us and judges us. Big is a little less, a little less. A little less. A little more and a little less. Usually Asher is the fridge cat. Yeah, he's the percher more than anything. He is orange powers. Anyway. So, where was I? Okay, yeah, right. Talking about the difference between the 2077. Okay, so 2077 is okay game. I'm sure it's better now. I haven't played it with the update and everything because I'd have to rebuy it on PC, and I'm not there yet. That's probably a long way off. I'll wait till it's like $20 and then I'll do it. But I did play through it on console. Don't fucking do that. It's a fucking... It's bad. It's bad on console. And it didn't get the update, so there's no reason to play it. But anyway, so 2077 is a little bit more pessimistic of the cyberpunk world, which is kind of par for the course, which is totally fine. But there's also, if you watch Altered Carbon. Altered Carbon has this this feel to it that's just... I need to watch it again, but my memories of that show are much softer and more heartfelt, and even though Cyberpunk was a rushed game and probably could have worked on that, but oh, you did see it. Oh yeah, read the book too. It's fantastic. I read the book years and years ago, and I got so excited watching the show. Yes, Poe helped a lot. Poe is the best. But also, like, you know, you had the grandmother bit, and like just, and it was a cyberpunk hero trying to... Season 2 tried its best. We've heard very good things about Season 2. We haven't watched it yet. I watched Season 1 and I absolutely loved it. And the actor, I forget his name, he was in Suicide Squad. What is that guy's name? Oh, he's so cute. Oh, it's too busy. Oh, that's fair. Well, you know, that kind of fits the cyberpunk aesthetic, in a way, but yeah, I can understand why it would be like too much. Joel something, yeah, whatever his name is, he's fantastic. He's great. He's great as a it's Kovac, apparently. Even though when I read the book, I had Kovac in my head, or Kovacs. Was there an S on the end of it, or was it just CH? But I had a Kovac in my head. Now I'm being made aware it's Kovac, and I'm like, that doesn't sound right in my head now. But anyway, if you get a chance, read the book. It's fucking great. I do need to read more cyberpunk stuff, just because I don't know what it is about it. It's the same way that certain horror movies can be comforting to me. Mostly things like a lot of the bad ones, I'll be honest. But like 13 Ghosts is a terrible movie on the surface, but fuck do I love that movie. And it's just weirdly, it's like, this movie, that early 2000s like vibe of horror movies are very comforting to me. Then you have like the classic Halloween, which I only watched like a year or two ago. That is now like a fireside movie. That is such a comforting, creepy, yeah, but Tomorrow War gets good and cyberpunk after the first act. Cool. But yeah, it's just like, I need to read more cyberpunk stuff, probably some of the classic stuff before I go to the more contemporary stuff. But I do find cyberpunk, at least the hope that it can hold for a better future and taking down, you know, taking down corpos, kind of comforting, because it's about certain takes on it are about groups of people joining together to make the world a better place. And sometimes that works out and sometimes it doesn't, but there are people willing to die for a better world, or, you know, face death or, you know, go through all this terrible shit just to get things an iota better. And I love that about cyberpunk, because it is very much like our world, and like seeing people in cyberpunk worlds still have hope allow you to still have that same hope in your own world, because we're close, but we're not quite there as far as that goes yet. So, you know, so that's kind of the vibe I'm going for. That's also why I'm going to be using Thirsty Sword Lesbians as the campaign, because I want the emotion to be focused on just as much as the aesthetic and the bastardization of everything, and just like everyone being a shithead, at least everyone in power being a terrible person, is balanced out by the connections you make in cyberpunk, and that's how it should be. 2077 kind of missed parts of that before the update, of course. I still haven't played it. I'm sure it's much better. However, it kind of missed some of the more emotional marks because of the rushed project. So, what power would there be in hell if its denizens could not dream of heaven? What power would there be in hell if denizens could not dream of heaven? It's getting as close as you can to in hell. Hell is based upon contracts and business and currency. The currency being the souls of people that have come before. Basically how this works is, or at least how I'm writing it right now, is everyone that chooses hell, at some point, they show, like, the devils and demons, I'm kind of putting them in the same category here, but the devils and demons of hell keep an eye out, or at least the corpos, keep an eye out for people on Galdor and on the other planes with mortals on them. They keep an eye out for people that aren't in league with the usual people of those places. They don't follow the gods. They don't care about what the gods say. They don't want the gods, whether it's through a personal experience or they were just born that way or any other number of things, whatever it was. They are rebellious by nature generally, or at the very least they've been hurt at some point by the gods or followers of the gods enough to give them that, like, crisis of faith. Again, I'm doing an atheist in D&D and trying to imagine what that looks like. And this is what I've come up with. So hell is completely filled with nothing but rebellious, pessimistic people that just refuse to believe in anything unless they have entered into it themselves and have seen it with their own eyes, that kind of thing. And paid for by slivers of your own soul as a currency, as a power source. Yes. So when you're marked by a devil or a demon or whatever, they meet you probably at a crossroads, because that's cool, and they talk to you and they get to know you. They're people. They are still people, devil or otherwise. They are still full. Nobody's, like I said, I keep saying it, no one in my world is inherently evil just because of their nature or how they are, or how they were born, I should say. Sometimes there are evil people, but every evil person thinks they're a hero in their own story, so there is no evil, really. So as this devil or demon gets to know you, talks to you about your beliefs, and listens to you, they listen. Probably one of the first people that have listened to you talk about this thing without screaming blasphemy, or walking away uncomfortably, or getting angry at you, or whatever. Probably the first person that sits down and goes, damn right, that's valid, hell yeah, let's talk about it, you know, that kind of stuff. And they get to know you and they actually become your friend, and it is not a lie. This is, I mean, most of the time. Maybe it is for some of them, but for most of them, they actually do get to know these people that they make these deals with, and eventually they put down a contract in front of you and talk about what hell is, and they get rid of all of the bullshit that, you know, has been sold to you through your life, where, you know, hell is only where bad people go, and so it's a, you know, our idea of hell is what is partially, at least, sold by people in the material plane. that's all shown to be a lie in one way or another. Let's say, you know, there's like some ability that they have to show and prove that that is not true. You sign that contract, you get 1,000 years in hell to do whatever you want. And there are ways to extend that and continue on your life, quote unquote, in hell. That's what the corpos are. The corpos are the people that did whatever it took to get more years. And they're, you know, they're Methuselahs, as you see in Altered Carbon. So they started companies or joined companies and clawed their way to the top to get more time in hell, but on top, so to speak. But everyone else, anyone that doesn't, you know, get into what does the actual afterlife look like if that's what the alternative is. It depends on the god you follow. They're probably also some of the first personalities to enter into empty hell. Yeah. Somebody that's rebellious enough to be the first person to rebel against all of it. They're gonna be pretty damn rebellious, and they're gonna be, I don't know if I would say power hungry, but maybe not outright, but definitely over other people. Would make good for good demon and devil lords. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, the afterlife depends on what god you follow, what that looks like. It's basically going to whatever god, and you don't have to necessarily be a follower of a god to go to a god's afterlife or domain. It's basically whatever ideals or beliefs or merits or whatever it is that you most carry with you. Imagine it very much like kind of like how I just watched Moon Knight, so I'm thinking of the scales. You know, you weigh your heart against the feather kind of thing. But imagine if all of the gods kind of stepped forward as each soul comes in, and they kind of do some some sort of reading or something. I'm losing it. Hang on, I'm dehydrated. I've had too much coffee. There we go. They have some sort of rating thing that they do where like they all look at you and your soul and your life, and they, you know, you take a god personality quiz basically, and they tally you up by your actions, your words, your thoughts, everything. And then you might have like some last argument, perhaps, if like it's too close, you can like make your case or what have you. But after that, you are given your eternity, whatever that is. Most of the afterlives, including hell, are not so bad. And like, I don't know about you guys, but I have certainly met people that even if I will say this, that even if they found out that heaven and so on was real, they would still choose hell or to not go to either of those things. I know enough contrarian motherfuckers that want nothing to do with that a hell like this, the one that I'm building, would still be full. Would a deity ever reject a soul to be spent in hell if a devil did not contract them? No, I don't think so. Because if a deity were to reject you outright, you're probably going to end up going to that deity's dark mirror. These are for people, like, again, hell is not a punishment. The gods are kind of shallow, all of them. They're a little shallow. They think their afterlife is the best, obviously. And the worst possible thing you could do is go to the opposite of their afterlife, which is their siblings' dark mirror afterlife. So, so it's not hell that they see as a punishment. It's just not them. Everything that they are not, that's the worst possible thing you could be. So, there you go. And whether or not they're outward about that belief, whatever. But that's probably the decision. Either way, could a grim god reject anyone? I think it's a responsibility as a god to take the souls that are deemed yours. I think it's part of the job, if you will. I don't think they have... Maybe they have veto power or something. I don't know. But, like, maybe if, like, say if there's, like, a tie between a couple gods, I don't know how that tie would be broken, but there would be some sort of procedure that is done to make sure you are... Oh, God, excuse me. To make sure you are given one afterlife or another. There might be, there might be other, like, third-party floaters, like, that go and do jobs for multiple gods? I don't know. But I can't imagine somebody being one way, getting rejected by a god. Because even if, like, for instance, you did something against Hanali, let's say, I think the punishment, again, aside from being opposite into the grim god or the bright, I mean, even if you lived completely to a bright grim god's ideals, I lost my train of thought. Jesus Christ. Wow, that really just flew away. I'm sorry. Hang on. What was I saying? My eyes just... Whoa, I don't know what that was. I already ate. I'm fine. That really just derailed my whole brain. Hang on. Wow, did I have a stroke? What the fuck? A grim... I don't think that if all of the other gods vote you getting a soul, that you can reject it. So long as that happens, no, they can't. Like, ties can happen, and I don't know what that procedure would be. But there is something in place. Maybe there's some sort of crazy afterlife fight. Or, I mean, you might even be approached, like, as you're being judged, let's say, as you're being, like, looked upon by all these gods and, like, weighed up. If you're, like, even across the board, or, like, whatever, no god... Probably just the individual's choice. Yeah, that's what I would say is your argument is made. And maybe at that point a devil shows up, where it's like, hey, missed you in life, what do you think about this? You know, that kind of thing. So I think a representative of hell would probably be there too, in some fashion. Whether or not it's allowed by the gods or not, who knows? But all of them want souls, because, you know, the more souls a god has, the more, not necessarily the more powerful they are, but the power stays. So rejecting it would take a particular action of real, like, insane, like, blasphemy or something. So I can't imagine anybody, like, who's like, I don't want to go to that, you know, to that afterlife, and does something really heinous and terrible according to that god to make sure that they don't. Because you would live your whole life making sure you didn't want to do that. So that's what I'm thinking. If hell is a plane, they're technically a god responsible for it. No, that's the whole point. Absolutely not. It is a group. It is a group project. There is not. There is no god responsible for hell. There are people in power, but they don't have godlike power, but it might as well be as far as the people that are just entering in are concerned. But yeah, hell is... Yeah, there are lords, but yeah, hell is no gods, no masters on the tin, but it still kind of feels the same when you get there, which is what inspires a lot of people to go, fuck you. It's just a matter of... There are enough corpse, demon lords, whatever, that have moved up. I think that's the difference. Is that we don't have in Galdor, we don't have gods that have ascended from mortality. We've had gods that came around because of the consensus of mortals, which is different. It's enough belief and enough practice in a certain aspect, like Joaquin, that they became a concept big enough to become a god, right? But there is nothing like that, like ascension from mortaldom to goddom, in Galdor. There are demigods, which are the offspring of a god and a mortal. There are minor gods, and there are gods. None of those were born mortal first. Demigods are born as they are. Minor gods are created in some aspect by the gods themselves, and the gods are the gods. But yeah, the hells have no gods, no masters. And anyone that is a quote-unquote master is that because they quote-unquote ascended or worked their ass off, as they would have you believe. And yeah, they probably did work their ass off, betraying everyone on the way there. So yeah, we have Jeff Bezos and shit, demon lords of hell kind of stuff. No, I'm not actually gonna make Jeff Bezos. I need to make something fun, or I'm never gonna want to portray him. So yeah, that's where I'm at. So I think I'm gonna stick with the nine hells as they have in the meta, but we're gonna change kind of what they look like, and so we need 9 devil lords or demon lords or whatever the fuck. 9 lords of hell, 9 lords of leaping. Alright, so Lords of Hell. Alright. So let's start with Descent. Descent. I'm gonna have to I wonder how the big question, how were the cities made? What sources were used to create a cyberpunk equivalent in this universe? Well, it was, aside from being eons and eons of souls being created, and brought in, I think of it very much like I think of it a lot of bone and like quote-unquote dead things in the truest sense, like something that has no more merit. Like and this is a very kind of elementary way of looking at it, but like there might be certain elements or materials that are truly dead in that they don't offer anything, even in their breaking down and rotting. They might not even, but not in the cosmic grave. No, because the cosmic grave feeds, because it breaks down in a natural way and feeds the roots. These are things, these are certain types of elements and materials that don't break down into anything useful. So I'll have to make up new ones for that. But like, I'm thinking of things that look like matte black rock and bone and just other things that have no further quote unquote use by nature, and so they come to hell. Again, this kind of in between. And we have an ad again. I'll be right back. Button. There it is. Okay, we're back. So yeah, it's gonna look like concrete, basically. Maybe concrete of different colors, but yeah, that's, you know, concrete jungle, neon powered by soul power or whatever, so that's what I'm picturing anyway. Okay, so who's the Lord of Descent? It's also going to be confusing because, not necessarily confusing, but it's going to be, interesting because it could be descent or descent, like descent going down, or descent as in fighting against. So, that's interesting. Will this be the main core city? Not the core city, but it's just the biggest one, probably the most well-known. Ooh, this chap is lovely. He's cool. The Laughter of Jackals. What a fucking dope-ass name! I'm just gonna save you because you're cool. Abizu. But yeah, Descent is the main, the general accepted stop for people to go to. We'll have to decide what makes the other ones different as we go. So I need somebody that's like demonic but still looks like a corpo bastard is basically what we're looking for. So that's not hot in some way. That's gonna be hard. Well, he's probably, actually no, that's actually incorrect. The devil, I mean, there's been countless stories of Satan meeting people, the devil and everything, and Lucifer was the most beautiful angel, so he probably should be hot in some way. But we still want him to be demonic, definitely. I'm not looking, the flamey head is too cute, I think. This guy is very cool though. Let's see. I love how I typed in Demon Lord and I get this weird little bunny chick. What the fuck? Let's see. Ooh, there's a big boy. Is this an anime? Is Demon Lord an anime? It feels like Demon Lord's an anime, and that's why I'm getting all these cute anime girls on this. How to not summon a Demon Lord? Okay, there it is. Let's see. He's cool, but definitely not for Descent. Also cool. Something like this could be cool, but it's a little bit too Victorian. I need something a little bit more modern looking. Not all the way modern. Still has some trappings of fantasy in it, but it's not... It's not very obviously fantasy. What do you look like, Lucifer? Show me yourself. That's cool. Oh, is this artist? Oh, shit. Is that the artist that does the Wonder Woman ones? It kind of looks like them, but I'm not sure. Demon Lawyer. Good call. Demon Lawyer. I feel like I'm gonna get another anime. Not well, I got the guy that I just got. Alright, cool. Haha, this guy's cute. Again, that's cute more than it is. No, not a big... I need like a mob boss looking ass demon. Hello! This guy. He's got the vibes. Gambler Black. I don't know if I want to, like, have him fully wear a fedora. That's a little too... Just a little too. You know, you know what I mean. She's cool. Oh, look at her fucking arms. Too open to Michael Jackson. That's true, that's true. He does have a bit of that vibe, doesn't he? I got fucking Dr. Zoidberg. He's pretty cool. He's got kind of a vibe. And he's got, hey, he's got a fucking Waterdeep coin. I know that coin. He's close. He's close to the vibe. Yeah, it's just a matter if I want to make him monstrous or just kind of a hot guy. Because again, in Hell, you probably get your choice of like what your soul looks like. You might even be able to kind of shapeshift to a degree. Depending... Oh, this guy's cool. This is hard. Oh, God. Ew. She's cool too. I also haven't decided actually on the gender. I've been saying he because the Lord is male generally, so I could make it a woman or in between. Also possible. She's pretty. Alright, might have to do that later. So, hang on, let me go back here. So I know we have, like, soul coins. Like, that's what the... From Baldur's Gate. Yeah, they look... Oh, cool. Whoa! Oh! What is that from? You can twist the little thingy and it makes the heartbeat on the coin. Is this real? What is this from? Hang on. Oh, that doesn't help me at all. Holy shit, that's fucking cool. Exquisitely engineered coin. Here we go. A mechanical beating heart. Russian artist. This is real! That's... Holy shit, dude. Okay, yep, that... Fucking credit to this amazing motherfucker. Roman Butin. Modifies coins with incredible engravings and feat of mechanical engineering. How did you do that? Also customizes Zippo lighters. What a badass. Holy shit. Oh, well, he's not there. That's... Wow. Roman Butin. Instagram. Alright, there we go. Eastern European and Russian artists always go hard. Yeah, they just... Holy shit, look at this guy. Oh my god. Bruh. Alright, I'm not gonna scroll too much because there might be... Who knows, there might be inappropriate stuff in his art. But I want that. That's... We're gonna go with that. Credit to the artist. Go follow him because holy shit, that's fucking incredible. Yeah, I want that to be the coin. The soul coin. Except you don't have to twist the little thing, it just beats by itself. Oh my god, that's so sick. Alright. Hell yeah. That's very cool. Yeah, these are the... That's what the soul coin looks like in Baldur's Gate, which is cool. But, nah, I'll take the one with the actual beating heart in it, because what the fuck, bruh. Alright, dope. Go over here. I don't need you right now. There we go. Oh, hi Stinks, how are you? It's okay, we're talking about hell. Alright. So we have like dope ass soul coins with actual beating hearts in them because what? Alright. Catching me up on what we've written so far. Basically this morning, I started writing into my hell setting, and basically how I'm starting is with the city of descent. Or descent. I don't know how to make it different from descent as in going down. It's descent as in there's dissent amongst the people, you know? So this is the main city, or at least the biggest city. I don't know if it's the main city necessarily. But it's the most recognized city of the Nine Hells, and we're gonna keep that spoke kind of design of the cities of hell, so 9 cities, which doesn't really work because it needs to be an even number, so it would need another one in there, so maybe 10 hells. Oh, it doesn't sound as good, does it? Anyway, we'll figure that out later. But so like the spoked wheel, all of these cities are in, you know, a circle, and they're all different, but we're starting with Descent, which is a cyberpunk kind of vibe. If you took cyberpunk and a little bit of Dark Souls and a little bit of the Matrix to kind of put all that together, then you get Descent, the city. And basically what's going to happen is people choose hell because they are at some point in their lives, they are just disappointed with gods, or some such thing happens to them where they lose all faith or something like that, and they are approached by a person at some point, and they talk to them and they listen to them and they get to know them, and they actually understand the kind of thing that they have gone through, and eventually they find out, either during the whole process or afterwards, that this person is actually a demon or devil. I'm considering the same in this world. And they offer them a contract. And oh, thank you for following, Hungry Kobold. Welcome on in. Hope you enjoy the fucking ADHD rambling that is coming out of me today. So, so you're given a contract that's basically saying, hey, you don't have to deal with any of that afterlife shit. You don't have to bend a knee to a god. You don't have to listen to anybody's rules if you come to hell. So you do. The only prerequisites are basically you have to live out your life. You have to die however you are meant to die. You can't punch your ticket and early and get to where you're going sooner, basically. And you have to have a job that you have to sign up for before you go down. I have a list of jobs here. Don't worry, when I'm passionate about something, I have a hard time stopping myself speaking about it. It's a matter of choosing one thing to speak about for me. But I hope you enjoy. So far I've got some jobs listed up for things that my players eventually could take. Again, there's no immediate plan for this to be run as a game. I'm just building, and I just had an idea. I also plan on using this book, Thirsty Sword Lesbians, when I eventually do run this game, rather than D&D having to worry about all that shenaniganery. So yeah, the Hells, or at least the City of Descent, is a cyberpunk wasteland where capitalism rules, and you trade, everyone gets 1,000 years into hell, and you basically become... I don't know exactly what happens once your years are up, honestly. You might just become a coin, which is the soul coins that are like a huge amount of the currency. Um, so you might just become a soul coin after 1,000 years, but there are people that do everything they can to earn soul coins and therefore earn more time in hell to live out whatever time they want to. Because I'm going to be artistic World of Darkness bitch and blah blah blah. I lost my words there. Autistic World of Darkness bitch and suggest that the fiends in the hells can possess willing mortals for a time to experience the world again for the time, gaining their memories in the process. Fiends colloquially call this soul-jacking, but the technical term is Alahem. Alahem costs a year of your allotted time to perform, however. I don't think I want to involve the material plane at all in the hells. They might just try to enter back into the cosmic void untethered to no gods or masters truly. Perhaps, but that sounds like a good thing, and would negate your need to fight for more time in hell. I don't know. Maybe, I mean, there might be some people that want that, but there might be other people that are scared of that. I'm not sure. Basically, work 9-to-5 job to only become currency to be given someone working 9 to 5 is how my brain just took that, kind of. I mean, yeah. I'm trying to, it's a vague reference to the way demons in Demon the Fallen interact with mortals. Yeah, I'm familiar. We've had to fight demons previously. It's not great. That was rough. No, I get you, but I don't know if I want to consider possession, because that's a little too... I don't like stories like that, and it's a little too violating. That's what would happen pre-corpo. Yeah, maybe, yeah. That's happened before everything is the way it is, perhaps. Elohim are weird. Yeah, I mean, demons are rough. But yeah, I mean, the whole of hell as it is, no, it is not a punishment, but yes, it is kind of at the same time. It's like, it's a build your own punishment, kind of thing, because it is the only place in this universe, that we have created together, where capitalism does exist in its most classic form. And so you've got, tech that's kind of, I like willing possession and spirit communion, but not unwilling possession and domination. Right, yeah. Like, there are still ghosts, and I think if there's possession, that it would be ghosts, not demons. That's kind of how I'm going with that. What would keep a ghost here? I don't know. We'd have to figure that out, but that's another time. You get 100 years, then untether 1,000 years, and then untether into the energy of the universe, but while you're here, corporate temptation. Yeah. So the corpos want you here. The corpos want you here because... I don't know. It probably feeds... I mean, they need those numbers. They don't want you quitting the afterlife. Basically. So yeah, I'm just trying to do a Brennan Lee Mulligan-ass, everything's an allegory about how capitalism is bad, but at the same time, people have to do their best in the system in which they exist, and there's probably no outright hope in changing that system completely, because it would take an immense amount of time, energy, and cooperation with each other to fulfill that. So it's a matter of what kind of legacy and what you want to do with your time while you're here, and they need soul power currency to be bled out into the mechanisms of the city. Right. So, like, do soul coins, like, come out of... Could you... Alright, so you don't become a soul coin. So soul coins are your years in hell. Do you come in with, like, a bag of coins or something? Or maybe they're part of you, you just pull them out when you want? Okay, so like dragons, they collect all of their soul coins, the corpos and motherfuckers up at the top. They collect their soul coins like dragons and protect them. Okay, I like that. That's a cool visual. Just this Methuselah that's been in hell for 10,000 years, that has all of these coins that are like slips of, like, time. They're time. So when you work a job, you're not earning anything, you're giving. So how do you earn it back? Imagine your own essence as raw currency, but can only be spent through cities for good and services. Yeah, so your time... Oh my god, this is so this is depressing as I'm looking for jobs. Your time as you work is given to those above you, and it just goes up. It trickles up. And so imagine if we had to go to Blood Bus to cash in as a universal construct. That's gnarly. So you clock in for whatever time, and then you clock out, and you're drained. You're drained literally and figuratively. You are drained through your soul, because you're in hell. You are not a body. You are a soul. Oh my god, I'm depressing myself further. Maybe you gain time by performing tasks for your superior. No. I don't want the superiors to be... Oh my god. I need... You would have to regain parts of your soul by doing things that you believe in. So, for every selfless or true act that you do and you fulfill helping other people, or, you know, what have you, you gain some time back. This is a fascinating possibility for a mechanic. Whether it could be... Yeah, that's... So it's either finding your soul, quote unquote, you find pieces of your soul back with your community, or with your hobbies, or like all of the things that make us human. Writing and creating, that's how you get soul. It's like getting humanity back in Bloodlines. And corpos are there to tempt you away individualist entertainment and purpose. Yes, so like they'll sell you like VR, let's say, because this is cyberpunk, and VR is always the thing that they start with cyberpunk. So you get VR, which is just the vague experience of a veneer of something that you can't get in hell. It might be something that you cannot get in hell, but you're still not getting it. You're just getting an idea of it. So like okay, so like Stinks, you brought up the possession thing to experience life on the material plane. You don't get to possess anybody. You just live through a VR headset in a normal person's life. That's your brain dance. Your brain dance is just experiencing these physical sensations again, but they're hollow and they're shallow and they're not real. And you could find them here, but that takes too much work and you're tired. And god, this is bleak and also brilliant, and I want to play in this game that I'm making. Maybe the soul coins are ripped from the ivory of your own demon horns. That's how they're drawn on. Not everybody has horns, but I was thinking of like something like your body. And if you're convinced, then you'll think it's worth it to pay a small percentage of yourself to experience it, especially if it's on Steam and on sale. Alright, I don't come here to be insulted and called out. Yeah, but I'm thinking of something physically coming out of you when you clock out of work. Stefan, you said that, like the blood bus. So it's not like a pinprick when you clock it, like you have the little punch card, or you have a phone. Like, let's make up a fucking, like, fantasy-esque phone device. You chose to take that personally. I did. That sounds painful. Of course it's painful. Or it's like something that, okay, I was also thinking about this. Alright, so we know, like, with cyberpunk aesthetic, they love putting, like, some sort of spinal thing going down your back. Like the, what were they called? In Edge Runners? What was that? What was the company? Life is Pain, yeah. What is the company that makes the cool, runny fast thingy that David gets in Edge Runners? It's like a cool name, and I can't remember what it was. Fuck. Shit. I can't think of it. Anyway, but, like, okay, so everybody that... Okay, so, and I was going with the Matrix with every... Okay, Sandevistan, thank you. Yes, that's the one. So, everybody gets a Sandevistan, basically, what looks like a Sandevistan. Because that's what, it You plug in. You plug in when you work. Oh my god, this is so sick. So, when you choose to go to hell and you do eventually die on the material plane, your soul is shunted over to hell. I've been thinking I want to reference the Hells of Galdor would be cool to play in a Shadowrun alt campaign. And that's what I'm gonna do, basically. It's basically Shadowrun, but in a different system, because I'm not gonna fucking learn that goddamn system, because it's way too confusing. I've tried. So you wake up, and you wake up in a vat, like in the Matrix, like that goo and stuff. You wake up in a vat, and you're kind of introduced as you are now a soul, you now exist, and you wake up with this, like, a jack in your head, or like in your spine. I like the spine idea better, because that's cool. That could be also where your fucking horns come from. Oh, fuck. What if that... Oh, that's badass. So, like... Oh, that's cool. Alright. Oh, I'm just imagining that, and that looks so cool in my head. Like these fucking techie looking bone and tech kind of horns coming out the back of your head rather than like the front. So they're like back here, but like from the right angle. They're like, ah, that's so cool. Someone draw it. I can't draw. So you wake up, it starts with a tattoo in life, then generates when you cross over. Yeah, like when you sign the contract, maybe you get some sort of mark on you. The fact you're a soul and can't interact with people anymore also gives me Wraith vibes. Oh yeah, that's true. That's also true. It is a little bit Wraithy too. That game's too depressing. I can't. Anyway, so you get like a Sandevistan like looking thing on your spine, and then you get your device, which is like basically a smartphone. But let's be honest, a smartphone, these motherfuckers are the greatest instrument of capitalism that exists. And it would be brilliant that everybody gets one. It's free, and it gets you to all of these stupid fucking nothing experiences that don't really mean anything. And I'm not talking about people that like you actually make friends with online, but like what we scroll through and doom scroll and like, you know, all this garbage. I'm fucking going. I'm sorry. I'm just, a break. Good. Okay. Hang on. I need to take a breath. I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. Oh my god. Alright, you ever fucking world build so hard you start sweating? Alright. Well, I'd be getting worked up. I am. I love Wraith, but it's not for the faint of heart. Yeah, too right. I've seen people literally start crying and having panic attacks while playing because they couldn't handle how completely depressing it is. Exactly that. That's what... My storyteller read through the book and he was just like, no. So he's just, I'm good. So, because there's just no hope. There's no hope in that. He loves, like, dark shit with hope in it. There's no hope in Wraith. It is so fucking sad. Anyway. Right. Oh, sorry, I'm glad that break came up when it did, because I was getting, like, alright. So fucking world building disease. So, anyway. Whew, I'm okay. Right. So you get a device and you get like a Sandevistan spine implant, and that's like what allows you to get further implants, and you can get you're a cleric of Brennan Lee Mulligan. Bless you. I would love. They actually sell. Oh my god, I want one of these so bad. I've seen it on Etsy. I have it in my favorites, and I've considered. But they do sell 7-day candles. Like usually they have like Mary on them, with Brennan Lee Mulligan, Matthew Mercer, and like other people on them. And I can't tell you the amount of times I've almost bought it, just because it's so good. Yeah, I've seen it. It's great. We need those. Yeah, no, I know. Right. So, God, I'm like, it's a little hot out today too, so I'm getting all worked up. Right. So, you wake up in your pod. You already have the implant. Some sort of mark of the devil was given to you while you were alive, and that becomes the implant, thing that, what's it called? The foundational, like, implant that, like, you need to get all the other implants. Then you can get, like, extra arms, and you can get, like, fucking, like, robo eyes, and, like, all this crazy stuff. If you want to be more powerful like that, you trade moments of your life, which is fucking crazy to me. Holy shit. What do we call these things? These coins? They need a cool name. Like, soul coins are, they're not bad, but it's a little on the nose, ain't it? So, like spirit, soul, it's like spirit, it's soul, it's time, it's all of these things. This is one of those streams where I'm gonna end it at some point later, and I'm gonna go back and immediately re-listen to it so I can take notes, because I'm not writing any of this down because I'm too excited. I'm so bad. I also don't know how to, like, structure this. Moment shackle coins. Time shackle? Shackle's good. Hang on. Word hippo, save me. What's another, like, maybe coin is the problem. Hang on. A piece of, like, they have piece of 8. So what if it's like a piece of time, piece of token. Cash, currency, change, green, moolah. Kale. Who calls money kale? What? A lolly? Alright. Needful. Shekels. Wampum. What the fuck? Alright, cool. It's copper. Wonga. What the fucking what? Mintage. Legal tender. The Demon Lord has the One Piece. We found it, finally, after 10,000 episodes, or however many episodes that anime watches. Binding tender is also good. Bound tender. Bound. Contract. Binding. Deal. Necessary. Rigid. I like tender. We need something that sounds cool on its own, but then can be shortened to something equally cool. Because, like, Cyberpunk loves to do that. Like, chum, that kind of stuff. Like, binding tender, binding, contract, agreement, give me something, bargain, compact, pact tender, pact coin, pact bond, bonds, soul bond, pact bond. I mean, I know that those are two words that mean the same thing, but let's see. Pact coin, pact tender, treaty bargain, concordant, coin cordant. I'm trying not to go to a pact penny. That's cute. We're on the right path. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. Pact penny, pact. Hang on. Pact. Ooh, scratch. Ooh, scratch. I'm thinking of like Jack Catch. Isn't that like an old name for the... No, it's Old Scratch. They used to call the devil Old Scratch. What if we just call it Scratch? Or a scratch coin. So they just call it Scratch. That sounds cool. Let's do scratch coin, because you make like scratches of your soul. You scratch your soul away. Ooh, okay. I love that. That's cool. Let's go with scratch. I like that. Little marks or cuts that heal quick but bleed. Yeah. Oh, gnarly. Oh, God. I don't want to go so dark as like you have to cut yourself after you take a work day, but like... So how is being unemployed worse? Here's the thing. Like, unemployed, quote unquote. Like, here's the thing. We have to... People... For a single scratch. Yeah, exactly. Why would people not want to be unemployed? Why would people want to work over doing nothing, though? You're not a... Okay. Yeah, it's that whole thing where you don't want to make it like a, you know, you don't want to be a CEO, but you want to fund your lifestyle. So you can't do a lot of the things that you love without scratch. You need money. You need it in order to read, you need time. You need time and energy, but you're not earning it back, it's taking it from you. Or maybe it's like maybe the ratio's just off. Maybe you still earn, but like, okay, here, I got it. Okay, so day to day, yeah, what makes us living on the outskirts livable and free, right? Okay. So day to day, you go into work, you clock in, whatever crazy, like, imagery I want to do for that, we'll figure that out. You clock in, you go work, and you clock out. Little by little throughout that day, like, maybe, like, whether or not it's, like, a magical procedure that just happens as you're sitting there or doing whatever you need to do, or if it's something else. But every week, you get a payday in Scratch. It doesn't always balance out. Actually, it almost never balances out. It's never as much as you've spent, right? So, oh my god, this is so bleak. So you're always just a little under where you were. You could take extra jobs, but that's going to take more scratch from you, but it will give more scratch to you, and it will fund those little things. So you have paydays, and...
Do what you want, cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate. You're hard indeed. Being a pirate is a right indeed. Do what you want, cause a pirate is free.
You are a pirate. I don't know when I'm ending today. This is gonna be a longer stream, but if they're still streaming when I'm going, I will definitely do that. It sounds more bleak than the wastes. Yeah, it's bleak. So that's what inspires you, and there's ways to do it under the table. Like, let's say you work at fucking hell McDonald's, okay? You hate it, but you get that little bit of scratch at the end of every week. So you have to work a full 7 days. Well, no, you have to, like, 7 days, every 7 days, you get paid. Then, if you can find a way to earn scratch doing things that you enjoy, it like doubles the amount that you get. For instance, if you're a writer, if you love to write and you can spend time, which might take scratch as you write it, and in addition to your job. So you spend the extra scratch over months and months and months. And then you get... Oh, they just ended. Okay, no problem. Just let me know at some point. I'll let you know when I'm ending, and you can let me know. What was I saying? I lost my train of thought. Fuck. Okay, so yeah, right. You're writing a book, let's say. And you spend scratch. Not only are you spending scratch at your job, you're spending scratch writing your book. You'd spend scratch just taking care of yourself, let's be honest. Then you spend scratch once you finish your book. You spend scratch trying to sell your book, going around and, like, you know, just like trying to sell it and trying to get people to buy it, whether or not that's like through a corp. You could go to a corp and they'll take care of everything for you for this nominal fee of more scratch. But if you love it enough and you believe in it enough and it's done properly and you contract it out properly and you're not fucked over in the end in one way or another, you actually might be able to surpass all of that scratch that you spent if it sells well enough, for instance. Oh my god, this is gnarly. This is not a subtle allegory at all. I'm not a subtle person, but ooh, this is fun. So I told you guys I'm not in an optimistic mood, so this is like the stuff that's fun to me right now. So yeah, do what you will. Definitely a dream that can be practically a lie for most. Yeah, there are definitely some things that, like, you think are gonna fulfill you, but then they don't. Like winning the lotto. Alright. Sorry. Go away. There we go. I'll change my suggestion to Dart Frog. Okay. Yeah, you could win... Yeah, if somebody wanted to win the Scratch Lotto, which would definitely exist, let's be honest. There's definitely something like the lottery in this place. Probably put on by the Demon Lord, so you pay more Scratch to get the possibility of 1,000,000 years or something ridiculous, you know, whatever it is. Scratch offs? Oh my god, yes! Oh my god, this is amazing. This is terrifying how well this works, honestly. This is great. This is cool. Scratch offs, I love it. Oh my goodness. Alright, well that's what the lottery is, scratch offs. Empty dream. Possibility. Alright. This is awesome. Okay. Okay, cool. I like this. But also, not only that, but like, say you're working your dead end, whatever shitty job. Your scratch job. Probably what people call it. You're like, that's your day job, your scratch job. But then you get in with some sort of like a gang or some revolutionaries that are like, we're gonna take down insert more powerful person. Probably not an actual demon lord, but people that are, you know, on the rungs higher than you. And then the amount of scratch, that's really cool. So like, that's also the reason I mean, aside from the fact you can't die, but you lose scratch. So if you get seriously injured, which I don't think this game really has any way of getting like super seriously injured, I don't know. There is sword fighting in it. Maybe there is. But, and like, you can get scratch in like small moments too. This is like a weird inspiration kind of mechanic at the same time, where it's like you connect with somebody. I'll have to like add that into the possibilities of the system, because there's like, you can get strings on people Like, anytime you get some sort of emotional connection with a person or spend time with somebody that you have an emotional connection with, you also get scratch, which is very cool. Ooh, this is fun. Okay. I can't believe how fucking well this is working. That's awesome. Okay. Alright, so that's the... Which the city can perfect the filling of scratches over time through incentives and temptation. Yeah. Yeah, so like, you know, subscription boxes and just garbage that you don't need, but, you know, you're convinced that you want. Through advertisement and I almost said advertisement like I'm fucking British. I'm not. I don't know why. So yeah, you get like small little things that maybe they'll give you like a fraction of a scratch, maybe, but it would have to be a very, very important purchase, and it's never gonna balance out. You'll get like quick scratch, like it's like a little bump of scratch, but if you don't spend it quickly, it like runs out within the end of the day or something, which could be fucking crazy. That's cool. Marie Kondo. Does this inspire scratch? I'm absolutely going to make a demonic Marie Kondo. Does this inspire... She's fucking demon. She's fire. She's burning all of your belongings like Elmo. I love that, actually. Oh, wow. That's cool. That's very cool. Alright. Cool. So that's like the monetary situation in this, which is very, very interesting. Let's see. So I've got my list of jobs. Delivery, bounty hunter, driver, cleaner, muscle, server, chopper, oddball, support, and rockers. So with gangs, how does that work? How do gangs... I mean, in this world, robbing somebody is insane. I mean, no one would rob somebody less fortunate than themselves. That would be absolutely the work of a sociopath. And a psycho and a sociopath, both of those things, you just actually slightly killing somebody. I mean, which is true, but I don't think anybody would aim for somebody less fortunate, less scratched than themselves. Because that's nuts. So gangs make their scratch between getting paid by other people for services. They could if it's a currency. No, yeah. I'm just trying to think of the moral implications and how fucked up it would be. Because, like, I'd like to think, okay, and this is probably very naive of me, and I will fully admit that. And not every person, like, but people that thieve things, a lot of the time, and whether they're delusional or whatever, I'm not saying that anybody stealing something is correct or making a good decision, but hell is a moral gray zone, yeah? Oh yeah, no, absolutely. It's just there's morally gray and then there's fucked up. there's a difference. Just people that steal from others, unless you're doing like gunpoint and like you actually have like threatening somebody's life to get money. Those people I have no sympathy for whatsoever. Don't steal from people. But like, they believe in some way that they're quote unquote not hurting people that bad. They believe in some way that what they're doing is worth the harm that they are causing for them to, you know, and yes, it could be any number of things, that debts or drugs or something like that. But then there's the guy that's stealing food to feed his family. That's not on the same level as the dude that held up the gas station to feed a drug habit. So stealing from somebody is either an act of pure desperation or complete psychopathy. So gangers, like gang leaders, let's say, they're people that got more powerful. They built up their scratch. They have time. How they did that, you know, depends on the ganger probably. But I'm just trying to think of how gangers would fit into this, and that, like, because again, gangs are like a big thing in cyberpunk worlds, generally speaking. So, and it gives a community, or a collective at least, to come into for the players, that they can help or inspire to go into a more revolutionary kind of action. Because, you know, most of the gangers are just doing just enough so they can keep the status quo. But if somebody came along, a la 2077, that inspired people to push beyond that and do something good for the whole of the community and fuck the corpos, then you might convince the collective to work with you, giving you more of an opportunity to fulfill these possibilities. Sorry, that was kind of a tangent. I'm just like, there's, again, this is what it looks like when I world build. Like, morally gray is fine, but I don't, unless it's a corpo or like a middle manager, I don't want people to be complete psychopaths all the time. There might be one or two, definitely, that are gangers, but like, if you're a psychopath, you're gonna make it far in hell. That's basically it. So if you're a psychopath and you're willing to do anything, you're not a gang leader. You're a CEO in this world, right? So gangers are this in-between. They didn't beat the system, but they're kind of sidestepping the system because they're still powerful and they're still capable, but they have to, like, they don't have the protections that corpos have. Corpos have an entire, you know, high-rise full of people and security and whatever to make sure that everything, like anything that they do, regardless of the numbers, you're probably not going to be able to get to them directly unless you really collect. It would take like everyone in the city to get that done. Huh. That's really interesting to think about, though. Because, like, there are in a lot of ways, like in cyberpunk movies, you cheer more for the gangers and the gang leaders than you do, not always, but like, you cheer more for the criminals than the corpos. The corpos are like like a huge part of the problem. And I'm trying to make sure I keep that balance there in this world. Gangs typically come from the offer of protection from the oppression or lack of resources. So what did the less fortunate look like? Well, they're the people that are coming to the end of their sentence, quote unquote, the end of their contract. So maybe they're desperate. Or they, like, people that have given, like, oh my god, what? Okay, oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, that's so sad. I'm thinking of like a whole family that all agreed to go to hell together. And they live for a while, and it's great, and it's fine, and like they didn't get time together on the material plane for whatever reason, but they get time in hell. And it's great, but then like someone in the family like gives up their scratch to this other person. Like, you can choose to do that. And I'm thinking of like a grandmother like giving her scratch to her grandchildren, and I'm gonna cry because, oh, that's really sweet and sad. And like they give like all of their scratch except for like a year, let's say, and they give themselves a year or a month, and it's just this equivalent of like somebody, you know, being diagnosed or something. Oh god, Jesus Christ, that's so sad. Oh, it's beautiful and it's sad. Oh, anyway. Sorry, my neighbors are making weird noises. Trying to figure out what the fuck that was. Anyway, giving scratch probably ages your soul. Yeah, exactly. So elderly people are, you know, seen very much like we kind of see them now, where it's just like, oh shit. That's what the end looks like. Oh man. But Methuselah's being annoyingly young looking and fucking, ugh, I hate it. Oh, that's so sad. But a whole family agreeing to go to hell together is also very cool in its way. What did they give up? Yeah, why? Why did they give that up? Why not use... Did they get tired? Either by choice or by being tricked. That's possibilities too. Yeah, again... That's sad. Yeah, so the lesser fortunate are people that get addicted to these small, shallow comforts. Maybe they have a bunch of implants that make them stronger, and so in a way they're not less fortunate, but they don't have time, so they get desperate. So that's where people, like, that's where that comes from. That's where people get mugged and robbed for their scratch, or hurt. That's really sad. I'm glad I'm using this, this system. Oh, alright, I'm gonna take a break, and I gotta feed my cat, so this one's gonna be a little bit longer than usual, so I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. I had a cookie. Okay. Alright. Alright. Corpos won't mind souls getting wrung out quick for bigger returns. Yep. So the investment of a soul earning scratch back as a net positive for over 1,000 years becomes less attractive than a soul giving it all up in 10 because of bigger returns, and while we have them, we gave them what they wanted via X benefits. That's true. That's cool. Okay. I mean, it's sad, but it's cool. Okay. Oop. Bump. There we go. Right. So, holy shit. This is coming together in a scary way. Let's see. What else can we figure out about this? About hell. Now there's a greater pressure from those living outside. Then, oh, you got some typos in there, babe. Then cities that see hell is actually kind of a danger of collapsing. There's a horse living outside. There's a horse loose in a hospital. Horse. Very good. Pressure from those living outside the city that see hell is actually kind of in danger of collapsing. Okay, I gotcha. Yes. Yeah, and what happens if it does collapse? Is it worth it? Would they feed into that? That's an interesting... because there are definitely people in our world that are, like, doing what they can to... global warming, yes, that are doing what they can to allow capitalism and our way of life to deteriorate. I mean, global warming in hell. Yes. Okay. Awesome. Okay, there's... oh my god. Okay, so I'm trying to think of other... other big ideas that we can shift to work in hell. I mean, this figuring out the scratch was a big get for the aesthetic of it. Another element to a good cyberpunk story, the world's resources getting depleted. Yes. And, like, so who... it's gotta be some sort of middle manager type that is responsible... no. Well, maybe. Some sort of middle manager type that is involved in getting people to agree to come to hell after they die. So there's got to be a specific class of demon or devil that is there, that's like Raphael, that fucking shows up and he's like, hey, I got what you want, bitch, you want it? And you're just like, not from you. So they're actually friends to the people that'll probably be the outsiders, but they also try to keep you from entering the city as pretty as it is on the horizon. So they want people on the outskirts. They're trying to... it's like communes. So people set up communes on the fringes of the city to try and get... people to build something better. But the corpos, devils on the outside that offer the truth, and demons that try to meet the quotas. There's our difference. Okay. So devils are without the city and demons are within. Or devils are outside of the system. Demons are the purveyors of the system. Okay. That's cool. I don't know if they're gonna look any different physically, but yeah. Okay. Alright. So they look more monstrous. Which is cool. Wait, demons or devils? Also could be a neat effect of what happens when they absorb scratch. I don't know, pick one. Well, I don't want any of them to necessarily... I mean, in their true form, sure. The monstrous ones are demons, right? I don't fucking know. That's why I was just like, fuck it, they're the same thing. What is that? Xanathars? No. Volo? Is it Volo? Nope, not Volo. Is it? No. I don't know which one it is. Is it Morty? Okay, where are you? He's over there. Hang on. Okay. Here it is. Here it is. Ouch. Alright. Blood War. Cambions. Devils. Devils are the... Yeah, okay, so yeah, demons are the devils and demon lords. Lords of the Nine and demonic cambions? Fiendish cults. Yeah, I think you got it right. I think demons are the more monstrous ones. Yeah, I think demons being the more monstrous makes sense because of the scratch thing that you brought up. Look at the bestiarity. Okay. Which one in the bestiary? That doesn't... It's fine. I think you got it right. It's fine. Alright. Yeah, devils being more honest as well kind of just points to them being less monstrous in hell and their soul's true form looking a little bit more chill. Alright. Alright, cool. Oops. Stop bumping it. Alright. Cool. So we need corpse. I also like corpse being double meaning as well. Corpse as in corporations and corpse as in dead. It's very cool. Oh, nice, yeah. Oops. Cyberpunk. Cyberpink? Nope, that's not. Corporations. That's something very different, yeah. Oh, this is for the game. I don't want to do the game. Do they have like a generator? Name generator? That's cool. Sci-Fi Corporation. Piranha Limited. Mercury do? What the fuck? Oh boy. This is just one of those ones that just throws out random. Okay. Oh, perchance is good. Theory Cyber. Adastrous. Ooh, I like Adastrous. Oh, hang on. I need a page. I don't know what any of these will be, but I'm gonna pick the names for now. Zigzagoon, isn't that a Pokemon? Zigzagoon? Namuta Aspects. Totiligent? Totiligent. Yeah. Chromos. Zigzagoon again. Medicus. Fountina? Structa. Connexial. Farmonus isn't bad. Let's see here. Monacal. Telegio. Capricos. Ooh, Capricos is cool. These all sound like brand name medications. I mean, Big Pharma. Alptec. Dentata. Oh, the music went away? Hello? It says it's playing. Is it just really low? No. What's going on? Hang on, let me reload the page. Yeah, nobody wants Dentata. Nobody likes that one. That's a scary one. I think the music is just off. What's going on? Lo-fi, synthwave boy, please. It's broken. I don't know what's going on. Alright, let me try something else. Here. This work, please? Did I do something? Hang on. No. Why have I lost audio? I don't know why. Huh. I hate that. Alright, well, I was planning on wrapping it up here soon anyway, so I guess we'll do that. I don't know what happened there. That's weird. Yeah, I don't know why I just decided not. At least my mic audio is working, but that's okay. That I wasn't planning on going too long today. Anyway, so I feel myself kind of getting to that point. But we got a lot of stuff done, and I'm gonna go back and listen to this definitely, so I can write my shit down. Okay, I don't know if Stinks is still here, but at the very least, we'll take our little... Hang on. our little collective here, and we will go ahead. Let me see if the person that they suggested is still going. Yeah, they are. Okay, good. All right, so we'll go ahead and raid Dart Frog. And yeah, so nobody's here. So but I'll announce it over on the um Discord as well that I am going to be doing just Wednesdays for a while. And just so I can get real life stuff figured out. But hopefully I'll be able to. Well, it's the two of us, I think, unless it's counting me. I don't know. But it says it's 2 viewers, and I don't think that counts me. So I think there's one other person, but they're probably just listening, which is totally fine. But yeah, I'm probably not going to be streaming during other days of the week, so I probably won't be on Friday. But hopefully I can still chat to you guys. It does say I'm unstable. How dare you? So I'm just gonna call it here because my stream might be screwing up. But yeah, so I will see you guys next week. I'll be on the Discord. We'll talk about more stuff on there. I'll try to be more active there. But let's go ahead and raid Dart Frog. And if you guys want to vibe around there, feel free. If not, that's totally fine. And I'm gonna go rest my throat because it's bothering me. All right, here we go. Bye.